Coming up, just in the Eastern Conference, how stacked is the Eastern Conference, and how can the Brooklyn Nets compete this year in the Eastern Conference in the NBA period? But we're gonna do the NBA another day. We're gonna do the Western Conference another day. But right now, how can the Nets compete in the Eastern Conference amongst the new Eastern Conference stacked teams? Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out everybody everywhere. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button. The show is about to get underway. Y'all rocking with who in the morning? Y'all know who y'all rocking with in the morning, man. Let's get it.
Brooklyn Nets basketball fans, tap in with Leaf Diggy, the home of Nets visuals. Every Nets game, Leaf is live with play-by-play, instant reactions, player breakdowns, injury updates, and real basketball analysis from the tip-off to the final buzzer. Nets Visuals brings you the energy, the insight, and the full game experience. And when the Nets game is over, the hoops talk keeps going with Leaf is the League, covering NBA and WNBA scores, recaps, news, rumors, and the biggest stories around the game. Leaf is a part of the Aboriginal Sports Network, but Leaf is also where you get the full experience on his personal channel, Leaf Diggy. So subscribe today. Nets Visuals, Leaf is the League, Brooklyn basketball, and League Wild Hoops coverage, all in one place. Leaf is the League. Subscribe.
Yo, 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 yo. What is the deal, man? Y'all already know what time it is. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Hit them, bro. Make sure you hit all notifications, all platforms. That is Lee4788, youtube.com/ at Lee4788. Make sure you hit the subscribe buttons on Aboriginal Sports Network, and make sure you hit the subscribe button on the Hardcore Sports Network, all in conjunction with this show here. Leaf is the League, man. Y'all already know what time it is. We're gonna get right into the nitty gritty. So, uh, the um, the schedules came out yesterday for the in season tournament. For this year for the NBA, the in season tournament is probably gonna be maybe about 4+ games. Um, each year now. This tournament thing is like sort of a big thing now, man. The tournament is what it is right now. So it's just gonna get locked and loaded. So so they have the predictions or the projections for the Nets this year. The Nets, excuse me, may finish around 12th to 14th place in the Eastern Conference. A record expected, the most amount of wins they have as predicted at is 32 wins. 32-50. That's probably most likely gonna be a record, man. It seems more realistic, being the fact that we don't have our roster all together. You know what I'm saying? It just seems realistic. The rebuilding bottom tiers, obviously Milwaukee in the post Giannis era, and Chicago Bulls maybe. I would venture to put the Charlotte Hornets in there as well, bro. But I mean, who knows? But the outlook for the Brooklyn Nets roster direction, led by veterans like Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle, alongside young talents like Diego the Men. The Nets are attempting to transition out of a hard tank. Um, well, I can say well without moving on without them, moving on without those said players, it's possible. It's possible that there's more draft picks to come, and we might have another wave of picks in the next 3 years. It's possible that we might have another wave of picks in the next 3 years. We just got to see what can shake out of all of this. I know a lot of people in Nets land is impatient about what's been going on and things like that. So um, Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle, bro, are salary dumps. They and like real as of right now, they are salary dumps. Until we see anything from them in the future, bro. I don't think that Sean Marks in this front office is gonna go all in on Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle. I just don't think that they're gonna do that. The CBA is set up to where you have to do more of keeping homegrown talent as opposed to going out and go getting free agents and going out and making trades. You know what I'm saying, bro. Like this CBA is not set up for the Nets to do what they did back in 2019 in the early portions of this decade. I don't think it's set up that way. I don't think it's really set up that way, man. I don't think it's set up for us to get one big free agent and pay him a chunk of the money and then allow the rookies to come alongside of that. I don't really think it's set up that way. I think the CBA is set up. The CBA is more so set up for the Nets to basically do to try to see what they can groom through the draft. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's what this era is. It's one of the reasons why OKC one of the reasons why San Antonio went to the finals. I think this CBA is set up that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Nets are gonna get thrown a bone and stack their team again. And we're not gonna stack our team again. I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't think that's gonna happen, bro. So I mean, the roster direction seems to be clear. At least at the moment. The free agents that's probably gonna get brought in is probably gonna be short deals, short money, like 2 year deals or 3 year deals or something like that at the most. I don't see anybody on climbing the ladder and getting a long term deal. With the Nets. That with a Nets team that's not ready to compete, that's not ready to be in the playoffs. I really don't see it. I really don't see it, man. It's a lot of rookies going on this team, man, and everything, man. But the fast forward vision, the fastest ceiling I see for this team is for the players that's already 21 and 22 years old to really start grooming and really start grooming fast. The 19-year-olds and the 20-year-olds, I think they have time. I think they have a lot more time to 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 see and make mistakes. But it is what it is. I don't necessarily know. You know, in terms of how you progress in the NBA, it's more situational than anything. I think today is more situational, and I think today is more it's more about what's around you. It's more about the what belief the coaching staff and the front office have for you to be in place to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, who knows, man? Like I mean, it's a lot of things that could go forth. The optimism for me is there. Um, like I said, man. Everybody know I'm 10 toes down on Danny Wolf starting, and I'm 10 toes down on Danny Wolf at the age of 22 right now. Um, making a bigger progress right away. More so than anything. It's all about where they have him at. It's all about where his positioning will be. It's all about where his positioning on the court will be. So we'll see, man. I definitely we'll definitely see what can come out of the other rookies outside of the lottery picks in our draft. Outside of the other draft picks, we'll definitely could see. So the pick dilemma, it says because the Houston Rockets control Brooklyn Nets 2027 first round pick via swap rights from prior trades, the Nets have little incentive to completely bottom out, pushing head coach Jordy Fernandez to squeeze competitive minutes out of an 82 game season. That's right. So, like, realistically, as everybody knows, we don't have no real reason to bottom out. We don't have no real incentive to be bad. Unless we go out and go get somebody picks in the next week or before the trade deadline, we don't have no true incentive to be in the shitter. It's there has to be until there's a plan put in place. There has to be um a competitive type of game plan going forth every night. There has to be some sort of game plan in some sort of way that this roster is capable of winning every single night. And it's gonna be, and to me, it's gonna start with elite offense. I think it's gonna start with elite offense because I think a lot of these players were catered to that. I think the Julius Randle's catered to that. I think MPJ with his shooting. I think Yegor and Michael with their ability to shoot the basketball, and I think Danny Wolf can add to that. To me, bro, like I think we should go all in on that type of exclusive lineup. Joey, shout out to my man Joey BK, man. What's going on? And one of the reasons why is because there's no real incentive to be bad. These last 2 years, the NBA let us know how they feel, bro, about our tanking process. Nothing came out of the top five for the Nets, and it's not to say that the other picks from other teams can't do anything. But in the meantime, I think that um everything that's been said and everything that I've been preaching over the past 18 days is to us to continue to compete, or not continue to compete, to start to compete and start making right surges in the right direction um of winning basketball games, bro. Like, and the way that we're gonna, I think we have some ingredients to start that process. Michael Brown is probably going to be the playma- the primary playmaking engine for this team. Doesn't mean that he's going to be the primary playmaking engine for this team in terms of speed and tempo and pace. No, I think that the Nets this Nets team is capable of getting up a lot of transition threes and a lot of open threes, and it shouldn't be with no hesitation. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of drive and kick opportunities, a lot of heavy spacing. Everybody's worried about the defense. I think the defense is mostly going to be by committee. A lot of people don't like to hear it, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think more so it's going to be defensive strategies and counter reacting the other team our opponents with defensive strategies and counter reacting them with what we do on offense and having them basically play and catch up to us. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is going to be a heavy 3 point shooting team. I know people want Dave Run to start five to get all of the rebounds and be the primary rebounder. But the thing is, with this team, there is no primary. The Dayron Sharp is a primary rebounder against other bench players. Hence why he never played over 20 minutes a game in his career, and it's been 5 years. That's who he's a great rebounder against, bro. He's not a great rebounder against starting lineups, against primary starting lineups in the NBA. He's not. So my plan. What should be Jordy, what I think is Jordy's plan, what I think is the front office plan is to go all in on elite spacing, on a 5-man lineup to where everybody is getting spacing, everybody is running 2-man action, everybody is running uh, uh um everybody is trying to find the open man. Everybody is moving the ball. Everybody is moving around. I think that is more so the key than anything, and I think that's what Jordy should preach. A lot of this shit gonna be done by committee, but where I see it working out at its highest value is Danny Wolf being in the starting lineup with them. This is somebody that has to be guarded, but like I mean, I don't really see him as a five, but I see him as a five this year. The way the roster is put together and the way the start lineup is put together, he has to be that this year. He has to be that this year. I think Mo Wagner is he's not a 20, he's not a plus 20 minute guy. Neither is Dayron. Um, it's going to be a lot of comfort with him in certain areas, in certain spots on the court. Um, this is sort of a sink or swim year. Not just for him, but for Clowney and all the other the guys that's trying to get minutes that are already 21 or 22 years old. And we got to swing. And when it comes to those type of players, we got to swing for the fences because obviously our backcourt is solidified already. There's not a problem there. We could allow them dudes to make mistakes for the next 3 years. Nobody will really care. No, Nolan Trayor is solidified as probably the backup the backup point guard off the bench, the backup lead guard off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Drake Powell doesn't really have any legs in terms of minutes in a rotation. You know what I'm saying? But Ben Surratt definitely doesn't have any legs. Joshua Jefferson just got here. Tyler Bilodeau just got here. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, we have to understand that a certain type of player is what Sean Marks has been drafting, and who knows, man? Like this thing has to. Sean Marks and Jordy Fernandez, they have to figure out how to squeeze as much uh, 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 how to squeeze as much success out of this roster as constructed as possible. They have to. They have to. They don't have no choice. They don't have no other choice. There's no other alternative. There's no big name free agents walking through the door. There's no big trades walking through the door. There's none of that. This is what has to take place. This is what has to take place. It is what it is. And I can't I can't like we can't shortchange ourselves to thinking that we gonna do things the conventional way because this is what you need. Maybe like bro, maybe conventional is not for us. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the personnel is leaning towards the direction of let's play fast, let's play unorthodox. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think we have any more time for the conventional shit. You know what I'm saying? Claxton got played out of position basically his entire career. Davon Sharp, his archetype is mostly for the bench. You know what I'm saying? That the like so like we have to figure out. We really got to figure out, man, what's the shake with the rest of the roster. So the pick dilemma, as I said, is that because the Houston Rockets control Brooklyn Nets 2027 first round pick via swap rights from prior trades, the Nets have little incentive to completely bottom out. pushing head coach Jordy Fernandez to squeeze competitive minutes out of an 82 game schedule. Now, I'm gonna go to the there's a Sports Illustrated article on this. It says, "Do the Brooklyn Nets have a path to postseason to in deep Eastern Conference?" It said the Nets have no incentive to tank and have made some moves this offseason, but will it be enough? I'll be honest with you, man. Like, listen, it's only gonna be enough, man. Like, if we play a certain way. I think we have to play a certain way, man. Like, I really, really do. It's gonna like like a lot of heavy and fast ball movement, a lot of transition on threes. We got to play faster. Um, a lot of transition shooting, bro. Like, no, like the lanes are gonna be open for everybody, bro. Like, because this is what we planning on having on the court. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be our best chance to win. Said the Brooklyn Nets won't be tanking next season, and they might just have a real path to the postseason. Said we might have a real path to the postseason. Like when they say we might have a real path to the postseason. Look, the mic, like heavy on the mic. You know what I'm saying? The ceiling for the Nets this upcoming season said a best case scenario places them of the fringe of the Eastern Conference playing tournament 10th to seed 10th to 12th seed. That's not the playing tournament, by the way, but they put that in parentheses. If internal development clicks, though a true playoff run remains a long shot. Um, it really does. It really does, man. Like I said, we already know we're in the best division. We're easily in the best division in the league. You know what I'm saying? So like competing up against some of the top heavy teams in the leagues, the Miami's, the Sixers, and all of them. Look, it's gonna be a long shot. It's gonna be a long shot, but it is doable, and I think it's doable with the right style of play. With the style of play that pertains to the players that is more doable for the players that we have on this roster. Dayron is a good rebounder against bench players. That's what he's good against. He's good against bench players. This is the truth. This is the absolute truth. So I mean, I understand that people want to start him for some sort of balance, but I don't think this roster has balance anyway. I really don't. I just don't think this roster really has balance anyway, bro. I think this roster is more built for shoot. The star lineup is built for shooting. The bench is probably built for a little bit more energy with the Nolan Trayors and the Minots coming off the bench, man. Hoping that we could get something out of Clowney. Hoping that we could get something out of off the bench. I personally think that Danny Wolf needs to start. I personally think so, man. Like Clowney had got the nod all last year, and we all seen how it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, I really like it's. I think it's owed to the last 2 years of losing games and ended up with what we ended up with in the draft to give it a shot. That's what I truly believe, man. Like I think Danny Wolf is the time is now for him to get that shot. He's already 22 years old. Majority of this roster, it's not planned out for necessarily. It's not planned out for necessarily for him. It's not planned out by the front office for him. Maybe not, but his style of play and his skill set is planned out for them. And the way that he plays with them. We've all seen him play with everybody in the start lineup except for Julius Randle, and I think Julius Randle will probably be the guy that's going to be more of his mentorship. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the guy that's going to be a little bit more of his mentorship. So I think they need to be on the court together as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that's really my whole take on it, bro. But that's the way the Nets to me can compete in this year um in the Eastern Conference, man. I truly believe so. Coach, salute, coach, man. What's going on, man? Hope all is well, man. Hope to see you soon. Uh that's the way I think they can compete. It's going to be heavy on transition, heavy on tempo, heavy on shooting, heavy on perimeter shooting. Um, heavy on two man action, heavy on dribble handoffs, heavy on heavy on spacing, heavy on trying to move any interior presence out the paint, any and all interior presence out the paint. What's like at all times. You know, heavy on all of that, man. I mean, just heavy on off ball movement and trying to trying to get off ball movement and get open, bro. Heavy on shadow screening. You know what I'm saying? Not heavy on like the heavy screens, bro. Like because we don't have like a set screen a set screener, but heavy on mismatches and heavy on the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball gonna be like mostly by committee. I think it's gonna be mostly by committee, man. So the energy that we need, is most likely gonna come off the bench. I think in the starting lineup, we go all in on we go all heavy on offense, and in terms of personnel, we go heavy on offense. In terms of defense, we go that's gonna be more of a scheme thing. That's gonna be more of a team scheme type of thing. So that's just my opinion on that. But that's how I think we're gonna compete in the Eastern Conference. I just wanted to go over the WNBA a little bit, man, before I leave because a lot of shit pissed me off. The Liberty absolutely got destroyed by the Fever again, 106-92. That game was on Tuesday. Yeah, it's just not doing, man. It's just not doing. The Aces, they get a win over Washington over the Red Hot Mystics, 86-76 that same day. Washington was on the tear until they got cooled off. So the Wings, the Lynx, and the Valkyrie, they all get wins yesterday. So that means the Liberty they play tonight. They're back in Brooklyn to play the Sparks. The Aces they host Washington again, and the Atlanta Dream they go play the poorly the absolutely depleted Connecticut Sun. So as y'all know, the standings in the WNBA right now is it's sort of a crapshoot, man, for the Liberty to climb those standards, man. Like I'll be honest with you, like I think we done ourselves a disservice um with the loss to the loss to the Fever, getting back in the eighth spot. I mean, what it might be better for us actually because I'd rather play Minnesota than to play the Valkyries. That means the Wings will probably own the tiebreaker. So they stay at 7. Washington is a team that's been on a roll. Outside of the loss yesterday, they could be playing the Aces in the first round. So the Aces is probably a team that's they're going to continue to see because they see them again, and if they see them in the first round, that's even more reps against the same team. But um, I don't think you want to play a veteran team that many times. And if you do, man, you better start figuring stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So, the only teams that really concern me is the Valkyrie and Washington and the Aces, of course, man. But Minnesota, Minnesota's they don't have too much of a bench. They got the second worst bench in the league. Indiana, they not a team that really concerns me neither, man. It's just a lot of antics, a lot of politics with that, man. So I think we'll be all right in the long run. But appreciate everybody chopping in, man. Appreciate everybody clocking in. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe buttons on all platforms. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe buttons on youtube.com / athlete 4788. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button on the ABSN network, the Aboriginal Sports Network. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button on the Hardcore Sports Network, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on all of these. If you find these on once you find these on YouTube, once you find my shit on YouTube, all of the links is on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch if you guys want to go there. I kind of just put the videos on Twitch and they go to archives, but I do go live as many places as I can go, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in this world. I will see y'all soon, man. I try to tomorrow I will try to see how we fare up against the Western Conference, the new Western Conference. Everybody thinks the Western Conference is gonna be trash. I think the Western Conference is gonna be fairly new. It's gonna be a lot of teams that's gonna go just shoot for the stars, man, and they're gonna try to do that. So appreciate everybody locking in. I am out. Y'all feast your eyes on the brand new, most recent Leaf Diggy, Leaf is the League, Nets visual commercial right here.
Brooklyn Nets basketball fans, tap in with Leaf Diggy, the home of Nets visuals. Every Nets game, Leaf is live with play-by-play, instant reactions, player breakdowns, injury updates, and real basketball analysis from the tip-off to the final buzzer. Nets Visuals brings you the energy, the insight, and the full game experience. And when the Nets game is over, the hoops talk keeps going with Leaf is the League, covering NBA and WNBA scores, recaps, news, rumors, and the biggest stories around the game. Leaf is a part of the Aboriginal Sports Network, but Leaf is also where you get the full experience on his personal channel, Leaf Diggy. So subscribe today. Nets Visuals, Leaf is the League, Brooklyn basketball, and league-wide hoops coverage, all in one place. Leaf is the League. Subscribe.